We're back. Well, I'm back, and I'm still at home. As we go through this together, the coronavirus, the word that we've heard 25,000 times a week, we're all at home getting through it together. And no matter how much money you have or where you're living around the world, what type of family you were brought up on and what sort of job you have, we're all pretty much going through this together. I've decided to kick off this Stay Home with me, Kris Fade, and friends. And I'm calling friends that I know, some more than others, and saying, hey, you want to be on this show that I'm putting together from my home? And I want to say thanks to all of you that have been watching this and sharing it amongst your friends and, well, the world, and just trying to keep you entertained. And I'm honored to welcome our next guest. Take a look.
She started her career when she was only 10 years old, starring in many iconic movies like Mean Girls and Freaky Friday.
Ah! You're ruining my life!
She's been nominated for 73 awards. There's nothing this Hollywood star can't do. She's a singer, producer, entrepreneur, and founder of Do the Lilo. She works with many charities and foundations like Save the Children, Global Fund, and Red Cross. If she's not partying at the Lohan Beach Club, she's calling Dubai home. She's got new music and she's here to talk all about it. Welcome to Stay Home with Kris Fade and Friends. It's Lindsay Lohan.
Well, hello. We're not as busy because we're staying at home, which is somewhat good. But at the same time, I'm honored to have you on the show, and thank you for joining us. I know it's
It's nice to have a friendly face to talk to. I mean,
right? Who would have thought we would be here, 2020, staying at home, not allowed to go out, being told that, especially where you and I live, which is Dubai, that if we want to leave the house, we need to get a permit. Like, it's crazy, right?
yeah, and you and I were planning when I was going to come into the studio too. I mean, with the song and everything. So it was really weird. And I wanted to do workout with you. It's like all the things that were being planned just kind of came to a halt, and very unexpectedly, kind of like we heard about it. It was lingering, what was going on, and then it really hit hard. And then it's so serious, especially here.
How have you taken it? Like, I know for me, I go through waves of emotion. I feel like, yeah, this is all right, we'll be fine. Then I get a little bit like anxious sometimes because I think I'm reading too much and watching too much. How is Lindsay Lohan coping with the coronavirus?
Well, a few different ways. So in the beginning, I was like, oh, I kind of like this. It's like no more hustle and bustle to have to like feel like you have to get ready and go to dinner. And I'm a homebody, so I like being home. But then it kind of sinks in, and I can see the beach from where I live. And I'm like, I all of a sudden have this really crazy urge to want to swim every day and go in the ocean every second. And you really start to appreciate things that you can't do that are right in front of you, especially here in Dubai. You can see it everywhere. So that started to hit. Then it was like I had my training lessons for my 30 minutes, and my trainer had to cancel. So I was like, okay, now this is really serious. Like he's a trainer and he always wants me to be healthy, and he canceled on me. So then that happened. And then it's like, okay, well, I have my reality shows, and there's so many movies I want to catch up on, and books and stuff that I want to write. And so then that happened. Then I go, wait, the single's coming out. How is this going to work? And then I have to finish the rest of the album. How is that going to work? And then it just kind of, when I've spoken to people about it now, I speak to my parents about it. I speak to them every day, and my brother and such. And my parents are really happy that Dubai is handling it the way that they have been, and how much safer it is in the quarantine lockdown that we're under compared to the rest of the world. We're so lucky that this is the way it's being handled, because other places, my brother says even in New York, sometimes people are just walking as if it's nothing around the streets. And yeah, they'll have a mask on, but maybe they don't. But unless it's a very serious, contained quarantine lockdown where everybody's doing the same thing, people can't do things that other people can do because they're such and such, we're all the same. And we're really lucky in this way. So I've watched every reality show now. I'm caught up on all the movies. I'm waiting for new ones. There's no more Netflix to watch. I've seen everything anyway. But it's moments when I get to talk to my family on, FaceTime, and friends that I haven't spoken to. And I have P-Volve workouts now that they've set me up with. And my sister and I have this H-Smile thing to whiten our teeth, and journals. And now I've ordered Monopoly. Because, the thing is, when is it really safe to leave again the house? Which is, I think, really where we're getting to that point.
Yeah, it's interesting. You said you talk to your parents, which I do every single day. And I don't know if it happened, but I felt like roles were reversed. I was now treating my parents like they were children, and I was talking to them saying, you are not allowed to leave the house. Do you understand me?
Yeah.
Did you go through the same thing?
I did with my mom. She was, because I didn't know she was just in the backyard, because we have a big backyard in New York, and she was with the dog and she was running around playing. I was like, Mom, you're not supposed to be outside. She's like, Linz, it's the backyard. There's no one here. So it was fine. And she was still wearing the mask and gloves. But yeah, I do feel like that. I totally get that. And also just, enlightening them on how social media works now, telling them, and it's scary when my mom knows more than me, because I try not to use my phone so much.
What has she educated you on social media? What is she telling you?
Just like other lighting apps and like face apps. It's like really fun. It's just really funny. And she's sending me all these things every second. And it's just, and my dad too. And they love it. Our parents must love it, because they get to see us more.
Yeah.
I never get this much FaceTime.
I know, 100%. Like, it's crazy because you think to yourself, if we were going through this virus 30 years ago without the internet, wouldn't it be weird? Like, and I know this is a morbid thought that I've had, and this is why I had to have this conversation with my dad. And I said to him, listen, you understand, if anything happens to you, I actually can't get to you. The borders are closed in Australia. I can't come, and we're in Dubai right now. We're in the UAE. So like, do it for me. So our only connection is being able to video chat, call. Like, I'm so grateful for the internet. I'm so happy we've got Netflix and Amazon Prime and all these platforms, right?
I know. I mean, it is what I was thinking about that actually the other day. What if we didn't have all of these social media outlets, even Instagram and such that we have now, and God's way of making it happen in the right way, and people coming together through these reasons, and people coming together in the right ways this time, not just for self-indulgent kind of things, like I feel like it's a really positive force that's behind all of these things now. When we're all the same. People forget we're all, at the end of the day, we're just people. And we live in this massive world, but at the end of the day, we're all the same, and we're all just living on different parts of walks of life. And it's really setting in for a lot of people. And I think it's God's way of saying, you got to really start to live more in gratitude with what I've given you.
It's so true. And like, what we take for granted, which is just the basics of, I don't know about you, like I miss just going to the mall. I miss just walking the streets, like just those basic things that we're not doing right now. So I think you're right. I think it's a bit of an eye-opener.
Yeah, it's also because even if you were able to do it in the beginning, it was kind of, they weren't sure how to contain it yet. And we were able to I could go in the day and just run an errand. Whatever it was. But I like actually getting my groceries. Like, I get excited about that. It's like a thing to do.
Yeah.
Like, I get really excited about grocery stores.
Yeah.
So now I have to look at it, and then they don't have it. It's out of whether it's the lettuce I like, the smallest things. You're like, I should have gotten it beforehand. But just the smallest things you really start to appreciate. You're right.
Where do you spend the most time? What aisle do you spend the most time in when you go to the shops? Is it fruit and veg? Is it the snacks? Where are we?
It's fruit and veg and like fresh fish usually, because I love cooking. So this is actually nice for me. I've been cooking home a lot more than I usually do, and that always makes me really happy. And my sister's a great cook, and so that's really fun to do.
It's so cute to see you and your sister and how you guys bond. And obviously I've met with you a few times when you guys have been together. It's sort of like, it's really cute and endearing to see how you both look after each other and how you both now live here in Dubai. Obviously being in quarantine, as we say, with your sister must be a good thing, right?
No, it is really nice bonding time. But this is actually really interesting. She was meant to fly to Australia about a week and a half before all of this happened. Wow. So she would have been quarantined there, essentially. And she had just been there recently with me for the races. So she would have had some friends to stay with, but I couldn't imagine if I couldn't get to her because I wasn't going with her this time. Yeah. So it's good that she's here and with me, and at least, the thing is, we're so lucky to to be able to be with someone in quarantine. And that, like, I think about all the people that are alone. And my little brother, he's in California, he's alone. And so it's like I FaceTime with him at night, and the time differences are really difficult too, for us. But we make it work. So it's just, all just the little things, just really grateful for.
The biggest thing we've been talking about as well recently is obviously the physical, ailments that this coronavirus has brought, but it's more also the mental health issues that it's creating for people who are living alone, who don't have that outlet to leave and keep themselves occupied, right? So I think mental health is something that we've really got to look at right now.
Yeah, I think so, because a lot of people that are, especially when, and I can say this just from doing films and being around big amounts of people on sets, when that movie ends, it's like leaving a family when you're done with that moment of work for that amount of time. And it's culture shock to be alone. So I can't imagine what it's also like for people that live alone but are in offices full of people all the time. And then to just be sitting alone having to work. It could drive you kind of mad. I don't know how I'm going to feel once we can just go outside again. I don't know. I'm a bit of a hypochondriac.
Me too. I'm a hypochondriac. And like my friends know me as a hypochondriac as well, right? So I've had the same thoughts. Like, hold on, when they tell us it's cool to go outside, like, hold on, we're gonna change. Like, think about this. You and I both travel a lot. When we go on an airplane next time, I don't know about you, I have got hand wipes, I've got masks now on, I'm doing it all.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. I mean, airlines too is always a place where everyone should always be careful because, it's important to be sanitary no matter what, anywhere. But airlines, it's a confined space. We're all sitting in the same air for a long amount of time.
How does it feel that everything that you do goes online? As in, there's always someone writing something about it. And it's, if it's good or bad, do you now have to then, with social media, you have to be really careful what you put up, like on your Instagram. And, when you and I went for dinner at DIFC here in Dubai, there were people like going, it's Lindsay Lohan, can I get a photo? Is that really? And you were so gracious about it and you went and took the photos. But from social media to wherever you are, it's always happening.
It's definitely weird. I mean, the plus side of living in Dubai is I do get to have a private life, and legally here. I mean, it's not legal to just take photos of someone without their consent, which I really, really am grateful for. So then I can let my work speak for itself. The problem is with me and social media. People have this obsession with my, me 10, 15 years ago, that they don't know how to just let go and leave in the past. And that's always been kind of a struggle for me. And when people bring those things up, I don't even know how to respond because it was such a long time ago. So it's always been something, and I think that's why I wanted to release my song Back to Me, which it has a lot to do with, not worrying about all of the things that people say in the past and the judgments and growing up and wisdom comes with age and time and learning, and finding your inner strength. And just accepting yourself for who you are and not being afraid to show that to other people, and that other people can be like that too. You don't always have to take what everyone says with a grain of salt, essentially, and don't let the judgment affect your inner core and your soul.
Yeah, I love it. Firstly, congratulations. Great answer, and congratulations on the new single, Back to Me. It's about living in the now. And again, I had to listen to it when you sent it to me a few weeks back, and I'm like, hey, this is dope. This is very, very cool. How did it feel going back into the studio?
It was definitely nerve-wracking. I spent a lot of time on that. I went back a few times just because it's always kind of like finding yourself when you're singing. Singing is more about my emotions to the song. And yeah, I mean, with acting and stuff, I bring personal experiences into it sometimes, but it's more about relaying those kind of actions through a character and who that character is. But with singing, it's me. So it's more personal for me. And I always get scared of people, instead of just listening to the song and at the end of the day realize it's an uplifting song, people are nitpicking the words apart. It's it's not always about that in every song, but it does tell a truth. And it's talking about myself in the past and then myself in the present. And people, just take it for what it is. I like the song. It makes me want to dance and it makes me happy. And I hope people enjoy it. We have some really cool remixes coming out, which I'm really excited about. But so, yeah, I mean, the timing was definitely really hard to release it and definitely different for me promotionally and how we would normally promote it. It's a little scary. It's there and I hope people like it. You know, I'm glad you like it. Thank you.
No, honestly, I love it. And Billboard just recently put it up as well, saying, and they gave it a good rating as well. So, you know, if Billboard's writing about it as well, you know, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's good. That's positive. I try not to look at all of those things. I've always kind of just not paid attention to it as much, maybe as I should or as I shouldn't. I don't know. But it does mean something when you climb in the charts. It always means, but I don't want to know until it's where I want it to be. And unless it's like where I want it to be, then I don't want to know.
Fair enough. I mean, it's funny. You say you don't look at these sort of things, but how do you just stay away from it completely? Like you've got to live.
That's cool. Yeah, great. So what are we eating for dinner? Like totally distract. I have a lot of other songs that we're gonna do a full album, obviously. So we're trying to figure out how I can finish some of the other tracks that I have to get done. Because we wanted it to be done already. It would have been done. So we just are trying to figure that out. But it's a really good compilation. Like it's gonna come together really well. I'm really happy.
Any collaborations that you may or may have on the horizon?
We're definitely talking about that now, and that's been a conversation, especially with the label. We were excited about this, and now once we got this off our chest, now we can, you know, jump into everything else. And also the video, like I wanted it to come out at the same time, and so that's a little unfortunate.
And then this coronavirus came in and decided to change all the plans.
No, well, there are more important things in the world. I mean, I don't know. Do you think it'll ever be back exactly the way it was? Or
I mean, I think we'll get back to some type of normality, but I believe that we'll always reference it will be before the coronavirus, after the coronavirus. You know, I think we're going to be doing things a little bit differently. I think we're always more self-aware of how I don't know how easy life can be taken away from people after seeing the numbers around the world, you know, and I think it's brought a lot of fear. I think there's been a lot of people that live day by day without any fear, Lindsay, and I believe this has now brought fear into a lot of people's lives. And even though it may not be good now, I think for later on, for people to experience fear, to experience anxiety. Like I was someone that suffered anxiety for many years, and people that don't understand what anxiety is and that feeling can never relate to that. So I feel that their feelings that they're having right now, you know, even though it's a little terrifying where we are, I think later on it's going to be a positive for a lot of people.
Yeah, I think it'll open people's eyes and also, you know, people being aware of being more courteous in just the simplest ways to each other. And also, especially with the pollution and the water, maybe people will actually are taking time to take notice and see what we can do differently for other people, and especially charities, and just shifting the focus a bit, I think is definitely necessary.
Lohan's Beach Club, what's going on now? Obviously that's had to be brought down. Are we doing more TV? What's happening there?
Well, when we did that show, it was really good to tie it in with, you know, the opening of the beach. We have the one also, we still have two in Athens, and we've been discussing what's going to go on in Mykonos. Now is not really the time to talk about it, but we'll see. I mean, I still do have, you know, my Lohan clubs, and I still do want to open more. Still eventually one here, so there is all that in discussion. And then I have a movie that I'm supposed to start filming in June, so we're waiting to see that's going to be pushed, obviously. And The Masked Singer 2, we've now pushed, but they're all still happening. It's just we're waiting to see how the world allows us to make it work and what makes sense and the timing.
You're looking great. Are you feeling great?
Yeah, I feel good. I feel very calm and grateful, definitely. I have this little 5-minute journal that I've been doing every day, and it starts with a gratitude list. And what would make today great, daily affirmations, amazing things that happened, which they're running a little low. It's really, I'm trying.
So hold on, these are things that you write in the journal?
Yeah, so I just do like...
Read me a page.
Okay, so I, on the 5th, it was waking up with a smile on my face, having water, having a bed to sleep in, my family, comfortable pillows, and being able to get a gasp of fresh air. So it was pretty. What would make today great for my people to really enjoy my song as I just released it. Going jogging around my garage in my building. That would make it great. I did. Laughing a lot. I just wanted to have a day just laughing with my sister or we watched a funny movie. Daily affirmations. I am mindful, caring, and open-minded. I'm living in prayer. And then amazing things that happened today. I feel healthy and blessed. I had a really good jog. I did a 10-minute ab workout. And I made great dinner with my sister. How can I make today even better? I could have done more exercise, so I'm disappointed in myself for that. So it's just good to keep noticing things that were the simple things we're grateful for, to have a good smelling candle that I forgot about, little things.
I think that's really cool. I think that's really important. I think that's to really just show gratitude. I read something the other day that people are complaining about social distancing and having to, wear masks, where the majority of the world don't have the ability to social distance or wear masks because they don't have money. They don't have money. And social distancing, some people have to live 7 to a room, 10 to a room. And here we are, some of us complaining about having to do that. So I think just what you mentioned in that journal, having water, like the basics is so important.
Yeah, having cold and warm water, or having like a bottled water. You think about all these things. And my sister and I were talking about it. And I was like, well, I want to start my own water that's just free for everyone.
You say that we're watching a lot of Netflix, we're watching a lot of Amazon Prime. Everyone is just watching, no matter where it is. What should I watch of yours? What would you recommend? Obviously, can I tell you, I've never watched Mean Girls.
What are you, an alien?
I know, but I want to watch it. And you know what's crazy? Can my daughters watch Mean Girls? They're 10 and 8.
Yes, they can. No, they can watch it. They can watch it.
So that's what we're going to do. Because we watched, obviously, Freaky Friday together. And they loved it. And I said, Daddy knows her. And they're like, really? I said, yeah. And then it flipped it around. And I thought to myself, if my daughters were acting in movies and doing TV shows at your age that you were, how? That is not an easy thing to do. Like, that is a hard thing to do, Lindsay. Do you realize how amazing you are and you were at that age doing what you were doing?
Thank you. I think when kids are acting, it's a little bit easier because they're not thinking as much about, they're not as self-conscious. Kids are, kind of, they're very easy to change. And then as you get older, you don't really want to play like in Mean Girls. You don't want to play the girl that's not like dressing hot and looking really pretty. And you don't want to play the one that's like kind of understated. So because you start thinking more about your actual perception as a human being. And also I was in and out of school then. So I was the cheerleader in school. So I missed school a little bit, but then when I was in school, I just didn't really fit in with anyone because I was always used to being around adults my whole life.
Yeah.
And I would always finish my work really quickly, and I was homeschooled, so I was ahead of everyone else. So it was very different for me. So just being on set was more comfortable for me. But I didn't really have that college time that everyone gets to kind of go wild and stuff. And that was kind of my life in the public eye as a teenager, which was a bit different. But yeah, it's I didn't think of it as difficult. I think after when I had breaks from filming, as I was getting older, when I was 18, 19 and stuff, that's when I started to feel like, I don't know what to do now. Because when I wasn't working, I didn't know what to do. And as you get older, you're like, okay, well, I can do yoga. I can take care of me. I can go on a vacation. Oh wait, I can do that. Like my sister and I, we take sister moons. And so, but it was different for me then and a lot more paparazzi when I was younger. So that was definitely a little bit difficult, but grateful. I'm very grateful, especially now when I'm excited to start another movie. And now it's on hold. It's good though, because it builds up that much more excitement to start.
Do you know when you're going to film it? Obviously, once this is over, is there a location set?
This coming summer. So after it shoots in California, which I haven't been to in almost 11. I have 10 years. I've been to LA.
You haven't been to LA in 10 years?
No.
Wow.
I know, weird, right? I think maybe more. I have to like actually check.
You excited to go back?
Just for work, yeah. Just want to go work, say hi to some people that I haven't seen in a while. And then, yeah, not to live.
Dubai life's nice, right? I mean, I came here for 2 years and it's been 12.
Yeah, I came for like 6 months and it's been years.
What brought you to Dubai in the first place? Like how I came here for a radio, like there was a job offer which I decided to take and I thought, I don't know too much about Dubai 12 years ago. Let's give it a go. And then I fell in love with it. How did Dubai come to you, or how did you come to Dubai?
I had come here, when was it? 2008 for the opening of the Atlantis Hotel. And I just remembered there was just like a peacefulness and a calm that I hadn't felt in a long time. And then I'd come back again for New Year's Eve. And then I left, went back to London, came back again. And I was like, I think I could live here and then go home to do my work and see family. And like, I don't have to walk outside and be paranoid to look and see if there's a guy hidden in the bushes. And that was felt really serene, and I felt really relieved, and happy, and also just, there's certain simple laws of, containing where people go out and dress code. It's just a different mentality, and prayer hours and just everything. It just felt more relaxed to me than the life I've been living for a long time. Always kind of on the run, trying to keep my normal life private. I can go to grocery stores here and I don't have to worry about being chased on my way home just to go to the grocery store and get home, for someone to get a photo. And that makes a big difference for me. So the little things.
I mean, it must be crazy. That feeling of walking outside to go do the groceries and you would have to be fearful of having some weirdo with a camera just trying to get that shot. What would Lindsay Lohan want to tell Lindsay Lohan of 20 years ago? Would there be anything you'd want to pass on?
Yeah, definitely. I would say choose your friends wisely. Go with your gut, not what other people kind of put on you. Because I think I didn't listen to what my mother said or what I truly felt was the right thing to do a lot. Peer pressure was a lot. But also let my driver drive for me. Seriously, because it was safer for him to drive. And I wanted to do it because I was excited to drive myself because I wasn't going to work. But it probably would have been safer for me if I had someone else doing it more of the time. But just really to just choose my friends wisely and maybe spend more time in New York. Slow down, like in life, mentally, because everything moves so fast, You do a movie, you promote it, and then you're on to the next one. It's okay to just like take a break in between when everything's hitting.
This is the only time in my life now, since we've been staying at home, that I've actually sat down for days on days with the kids. We're cooking, we're playing games. Daddy doesn't have to rush off anywhere to go to work. And even though I'm like, I'm missing out on everything that I was doing, I've gained so much. I don't know if
how beautiful is that? Like that's a lesson to be learned in itself, to just take time and like even explore your spirituality and that kind of side, and just especially with family and friends, even just like I said, talking to my brother more often, Dakota, and my brother Michael, and my mom, my dad, and his kids, and it just really changes your perspective on the things that really are meaningful in life.
Whilst we stay at home, we're doing stuff that we haven't done in a long time. What are you doing at home now? Like what have you, like I was raking leaves the other day. I haven't done that in so long. What's Lindsay Lohan doing?
I'm cleaning a lot, like the floors and getting like OCD cleaning moments where I'm spraying everything and reading a lot more than I take time to do. I'm reading this book, The Untethered Soul, which is a great book. It has a lot to do with about sitting with yourself and inner voices, and sitting with all the voices in your head and imagine those voices and what we tell ourselves all the time and how we talk ourselves into doing things and out of things and how annoying that other person is. So it's a really good book. And just more facials. I never really do that enough, just as like girly things. Thinking about planning things that I really want to do that I haven't done enough of in the future. I used to spend a lot more time working with refugees and stuff, and I want to get back into doing that more. because I'm getting back into like all of the work, and I want to also not forget to make time for that side of me, because that really feeds my soul and that really makes me happy. So I just want to make sure that I kind of manage my time well and don't lose sight of that.
We end these little episodes that what I've created right now with, as soon as we're allowed to go outside again, what's the first thing that Lindsay Lohan's going to do?
As soon as I'm allowed to go outside again, what's the first thing that I'm going to do?
Yeah.
Scream. No, I'm kidding. I really just want to take a long swim in the ocean and go to the beach. I love the ocean. I miss it. And the sound of the waves. But I think that's something that I would do my sister too. That's definitely something. Because we can see it, but we can't smell it, touch it, or feel it.
I hear you. Well, this has been amazing. I want to say thank you for joining us on this. This has been great. You're always a pleasure to catch up with. I always enjoy and love getting WhatsApps from you and messages. Here's to the future. And as we stay at home right now and we get to know ourselves a little bit more, God bless, and we'll see each other, I guess, on the other side of this virus.
I'm going to say, yes, on the other side of this, one of the other first things I would do if that wasn't the case, I'll come into the radio show and we'll do a proper reveal of the song, and probably by then the remix will be out.
Well, you're too cool. I can't thank you enough. Thank you for taking the time. You're always a pleasure. It's Lindsay Lohan. Thank you.
God bless you. Stay home.
I've known Lindsay off and on for a couple of years now, and I want to thank her so much for taking out that time to chat with us right here with Stay Home with me, Kris Fade, and friends. More of my friends will be joining us over the coming weeks. Feel free to hit me up on Instagram. You've got my account at Kris Fade. Send me DMs. A question I'm going to ask you right here, right now, and I'd love your response as well, is the coronavirus, is it going to end the handshake? Honestly, when we go back to whatever normal is, in whatever time, are we going to be shaking hands still? Have a think about it. Send me DMs. Put some comments wherever you're watching this. And I'll catch you next week as we stay home with me, Kris Fade, and friends. Oh yes, stay home.